It's a skin condition called vitiligo, and many people might know it as like the skin condition that Michael Jackson had. It's basically my immune system is battling itself.
Before Winnie Harlow would clock in 4.5 million Instagram followers at the time of this recording and would pose for magazines including Elle, Glamour, and walk in all the major fashion shows.
Hi, I'm Winnie, and I wish you a happy holiday season.
Before Winnie Harlow would appear in Beyonce's music video for Lemonade, also Eminem's video for Guts Over Fear, and would appear on America's Next Top Model, Cycle 21.
I can't do that any longer, so I'm gonna have to stay out here in this hallway and probably sleep out here for the rest of the time that I'm here.
Before Winnie Harlow would be seen on the arms of Nick Cannon, Vic Mensa, Lewis Hamilton, and be confirmed as the latest gal pal of rapper Wiz Khalifa. Today we have a good old Toronto girl, and by old, I mean young and beautiful. Winnie Harlow has been crushing the world of fashion for a number of years now, and of course it's her very rare skin condition which has allowed her to stand out from the pack. But what she now embraces as a gift from God, well, it was something that caused her torturous years as a child and an adolescent. Bullying from her classmates from elementary school up into high school, it was so gruesome and violent that she had to transfer from school to school, and she ended up dropping out altogether. When she finally got the guts to take a shot at modeling, well, she was again shut down. Finally, Winnie decided to take her future into her own hands, and she got her first big break via Instagram. What's going on, guys? It's your boy Michael McCrudden, documenting the life and career of Winnie Harlow prior to fame. Here for you, of course, and before they were famous. Now, it's been a while since we've documented any models here on this channel, and we do have an entire playlist dedicated to these babes. Now, I've been dying to do a video on Lacey K. Summers, but for that to happen, you guys have to request it in the comments down below. Also, the best way to get attention from me is via Instagram or Twitter. I'm McCrudden M. That was a long intro. I did it in one take. All right, here we go. Hey, be sure to subscribe and hit that bell. Boom! Winnie Harlow was born Chantel Brown Young on July 27, 1994 in Toronto, Ontario, Canada, and she is the eldest daughter to Lisa Brown and Windsor Young. Now, Winnie is of Jamaican descent, and she has a younger brother and a sister named Christina. Now, according to a post on Instagram, she also has 3 older brothers, who I'm guessing are on her father's side. Now, it appears her parents, they ended up separating, with him splitting his time between Atlanta and Jamaica. Now, I can't blame the man. Toronto winters, they are horrendous. Now, on Father's Day, she posted to Instagram, "Happy Father's Day, Daddy. You haven't always been there in person, but you've been ever present in my life. Thank you for always being there in any way you can. Money, clothes, books for school. Sending for me to come see you every year in Jamaica and Atlanta, because my daddy is a boss and has a crib in both. All I could ever ask for was your best, and you gave it." Another Father's Day post reads, "Thank you, Daddy, for always wanting the best for me since the day you found out Mommy was pregnant. Thanks for teaching me I had expensive taste, and with that teaching me that I needed to be able to finance my taste myself one day. And yet, you still won't let me pay for anything. If you're around, ha ha ha. Your favorite Big Dada, love ya, Mr. Young." As for her mother, well, Winnie describes her as one tough cookie who ran her own beauty salon.
I was raised by a very strong single mother. I had, siblings. Yes, for my mom, right?
Life was good for young Winnie during her early days at daycare. I mean, she was a beautiful girl who dreamed of becoming a ballerina. Now, it wasn't until she was 4 years old that she was diagnosed with the skin condition called vitiligo. Now, this occurs when the cells that produce melanin, well, they die or they stop functioning. It's the same thing that Michael Jackson had going on, making him go from black to white. Yeah.
If God wanted me to be black, I'd be black. If he wanted me to be white, I'd be white, but he chose for me to be both, an original, so I guess that's the way I'm supposed to be.
Now, there is no cure, but it's not contagious. Still, that didn't stop the kids at school from distancing themselves from young Winnie. She told Cosmo magazine, "I discovered that I was different in the 3rd grade. As the new kid at school, I was trying hard to find my footing. I thought I made friends with a couple of girls until they stopped talking to me. When I confronted them, they said their mothers had warned them to stay away because they might catch my skin condition." From then on out, Winnie began bouncing from school to school. She first started off at a French elementary school before going to a public school, but as she got older, the bullying only got worse. Now, the kids, they began calling her a zebra or a cow. and they would constantly moo at her. Now, by the time she was in middle school, things got so bad, she was literally jumped by another girl and beaten up. Now, in total, Winnie, she attended 7 different schools, but the bullying, both verbal and physical, it was unavoidable. Of course, her family, they tried to help her through these difficult times. She stated, "My mom would bring this dark makeup that didn't even look like me. She tried to use to try to make me feel better."
And my mom would bring a little tub of makeup, and it was her makeup. My mom is not the same skin color as me. She's much darker than I am. So can you imagine me having, a dark paste of face, and the rest of me is light brown, white? I obviously didn't feel comfortable, but my mom was trying to make me feel comfortable. I was alienated.
With Winnie feeling helpless, she even went as far as contemplating suicide. Now things, they started to get dire, and instead of getting bullied, well, Winnie instead became the bully herself. She explained during her TEDx speech,
"When I got a little bit older, I didn't want to be in that position anymore. I didn't want to be bullied. So rather than, just taking myself out of the position, what did I do? I became the bully. I didn't want to be bullied anymore, so I kind of took lead with those people who were bullying, and I said, cool, those are going to be my friends now, because, hey, I don't want to be bullied. I don't want to be on this side of the spectrum, so hey, I guess the only side is to be on this side. This must be the good side."
While trying to find herself, it was then Winnie came up with a nickname. She adopted Harlow as a tribute to her childhood idol, Jean Harlow, who was Marilyn Monroe's icon. As for Winnie, well, I couldn't find any confirmation exactly where that name came from, so your guess is as good as mine. In fact, Winnie, if you're watching this video, let me know via Twitter, and then we'll update, or I'll let everyone know. Okay, let's do that. With the bullying only getting worse, it was eventually decided that she would go to alternative school. That removed her from others altogether. Then it was just her and her computer, and all of a sudden her grades, they started to soar. She also got a job at a call center when she was 15, and by 16 she had decided, I'll just get my GED and become a working girl. Around then she was making $1,500 a month. Now, she still lacked confidence and she hated having photographs taken, and I actually scrolled all the way down to Winnie's first Instagram post, and she took a photo at Much Music. This was in 2012. Now, if you don't know what Much Music is, it's essentially MTV for Canadians. And young Winnie, well, she was hopeful that she could find a job working there.
I would love to be a host of my own show. I want to interview people. I want to work for magazines.
What happened instead was that a YouTuber named Shannon Budrum, well, she messaged her via Facebook and asked her to collab on a video, and she also recommended that Winnie, well, she should give modeling a shot.
0.5% people in the entire world have it, so that's like 6 million people. Just need to understand that it's nothing different. We have nothing different about ourselves.
She tried to go down the traditional avenues of getting an agent and going to auditions, but her hopes were quickly shut down. They told her, well, maybe you should be a makeup artist instead. From there on out, she took her future into her own hands and she began entering runway shows at Fashion Art Toronto. She also did some networking at events like America's Next Top Model All-Stars Fashion Show, which was held in Toronto. Simultaneously, she also began posting photos to Instagram. Now, with a little help from her sister, who set up her Facebook fan page, and friends who would tag Tyra Banks, well, eventually, she caught the eye of Tyra via Instagram, and she insisted that young Winnie, well, she appears on an upcoming season of America's Next Top Model.
Actually, Canadians aren't allowed to be on America's Next Top Model, but Tyra Banks found me on social media and then had the crew or whatever for the show find out where I was, who I was, and ship me out for the show.
At 19, she got to quit her call center job, started living in a mansion in LA, and she also traveled with the show to Seoul, South Korea. Now, Winnie, becoming one of the finalists on the show, unfortunately she was ultimately eliminated in the second week of finals. She then took part in the comeback series, and after completing the series and receiving the most number of votes, well, she was brought back to America's Next Top Model again, but then she was eliminated. And just being on that show, it looks like it's really tough.
What was the point of all that?
We don't know.
Of you telling them that we hooked up? What did you gain from that? I just want to know.
Despite being on a hit reality TV show, Winnie has said that it did nothing for her modeling career. In fact, she stated, My success started after the show because that really didn't do anything for my career, which it doesn't do anything for any model's career realistically. A photographer from London hit me up, major photographer Nick Knight, and he was like, hey, I've seen your photos online and I want to do a shoot with you. It went viral and I got campaigns from there, and it hasn't stopped since. Now with a solid footing in the fashion industry, Winnie was on a roll booking photo shoot after photo shoot for the world's top magazines. She became an ambassador for the Barcelona-based casual clothing brand known as Desigual. I don't know. She also picked up campaigns for Sprite and Swarovski crystals. She also became a role model for others suffering with her condition, and she even met with an aspiring model named April Starr. Well, and the two, they had a pretty touching moment together.
Because the confidence I have now, I had none when I was her age. So when I see her all over the internet and social media, I see the little girl that I wish I could have been, the little girl I wish I had all that confidence. She's like literally the embodiment of me right now.
She also returned to the school that once made her cry to speak with the children to help boost her confidence and promote anti-bullying. Now it hasn't all been good news. Winnie's best friend here in Toronto, her name's Shannon Hamilton. She's beautiful, but she ended up getting shot in both legs.
Actually, a year ago, July 1st, which is coming around, last year, she was shot in both legs. One in her thigh and one in her ankle, and today she's walking, and I'm so happy.
Yeah, the six don't mess around, fam. In 2016, she moved to London before settling in New York City. She's been spotted with a few famous fellas, including Nick Cannon, Vic Mensa, Lewis Hamilton, and now Wiz Khalifa. And the pair, they were first spotted at a fashion show on July 5th, 2018, but only recently they went public with their relationship. And also Amber Rose, she chimed in saying, Winnie, she's such a sweetheart. So, you know, she got the stepmom's approval. As for the rest of the story, well, I guess we'll have to wait and see. Of course, this is before they're famous. My name's Michael McCrudden, and we make all sorts of celebrity bios here for you on this channel. Check out our models playlist. How about Lacey K. Summers? That's gonna be a fun one to research. Yeah, that was weird. Let me know who's next in the comments down below. Of course, you can find me on Instagram or Twitter at McCruddenM. See you guys in another video. Boom!
Know within your heart and make your own mold for what beauty is.